Be strong.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's The Beautiful Bag podcast. I am your host, Leanne Hayden, coming to you from the loft. It has been a minute. Like always, or like the last few years, I've decided to take the summer off because let's just say I live in New England and we don't get much summer weather. So I took advantage of that. And then my husband and I decided, John and I decided to go to Italy for 19 days. We had a great 19-day trip in Italy, and I've got some stories about that too. But my word, what a summer. What a summer. And what is going on in this world right now? I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know. So, um, let's talk about Italy. I got a story for you guys. And everyone who knows me knows I tell it like it is and I tell all the things, right? So, traveling with an ostomy. All right, traveling with an ostomy internationally can sometimes be tricky, especially when there is like language barrier sometimes. So here's a little story of what happened on my way home from Italy. I ended up going through security. So I'm in security, and for some reason, Ivan, my stoma, he wanted to go the bathroom while I'm waiting in line. And it was more liquid form. Now I am in a colostomy bag. So my output is a little more not solid, but more on the solid side compared to somebody with an ileostomy who's liquid side. Well, I had not really gone too much for a few days. So I took a couple of things, a Miralax days prior. So my stoma kept emptying, right? So, you know me, I'm always worrying about a blockage. And my doctor told me that I should be taking Miralax every day, a capful of Miralax every single day, so that I can keep my stool soft. So it helps break everything down and it stops any constipation that may happen, right? So what happens sometimes is I get constipated and then my colon fills up. And then on top of that, I've had adhesions. And so my adhesions would start the blockages from the top. So it's almost like from the top of my ileostomy, right? From the top of my ileum. So the top of right when it dumps into my small intestine, all the way down to the bottom of my stoma is all full, right? Sometimes they're like, you're just full of crap, like literally. And so I take Miralax. Anyways, long story short, I took like four because I'm on vacation. I'm not thinking I had to take a capful of Miralax, but I felt full. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just be sure. So over a couple of days, I took double. So long story short, I'm in line. I'm in line for security to come home. So going through the Italian airport, going in from Rome, and I go into the scanner and it's a scanner. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to tell them when I get out of the scanner's going to show the ostomy bag as a marker. So I'm just going to have to tell them when I get out because that's something that we always have to do. So I'm standing there in the scanner and I know this is happening. I go to get out and the woman says to me, I go, I'm in a colostomy bag. And she just looked at me and she looked at the screen and she saw the yellow mark. And so I kind of pulled the top of my pouch up a little bit, right? And she goes, well, you have to take that off. You have to go back and take that off. And I'm like, I can't take that off. This is where I go to the bathroom. And she just looked at me and she looked at me kind of oddly, like strange, like she had no idea, guys, like no idea what an ostomy was, what a pouch was, what a colostomy was, like no clue. And she goes, but it's full. There's something in there. And I looked at her and I went, yes, it's my stool. When I tell you her eyes almost bugged out of her head, like it all clicked, like I was watching her brain click, going through the moments of, oh my word, like this woman this is her stool, like this is how she goes. Like I saw it happening in her, the recognition. She's like, oh, okay. And then she's like, and she brought the paper over to just scan. And you know how usually at home they have you touch the outside of your pouch. Like they're not allowed to touch the bag, right? They're not allowed to pull the bag out of your pants, like touch it, none of that. We know this. So usually they have me here in the US, they have us touch the outside of our bag, right? And then they scan our hands and that paper goes in the machine to say like there's no drugs in there. And so she actually swabbed. I let her do it because I was like, you know what? She's getting this and maybe this will help for the next time. So she swabbed the top of the pouch because it was right there. I mean, I wear a Hollister pouch and guys, it sticks up a little bit, right? You can pull it up a little. She just like where the filter is, she just swabbed that, tested it, and then she's like, okay, you're good to go. Like, and I think she felt really bad. But I was kind of worried for a minute because I'm like, there's a language barrier in the communication. Like, I don't know how to say colostomy bag in Italian. And I think now because I go to Italy so much, I should probably figure that out. But this is the first time that has ever happened to me coming home from coming home from Italy or any other country that I've been in. That was the first time that ever happened to me. So so we need to just be more cautious. And I think it made me say I need to be a little more aware of certain words that I probably need to know in another language when I'm going into another country. So that way I can explain it in a little better, right? In a little better way. I was almost like, where's my cell phone? Let me translate for you. But my cell phone was in the scanner, right? It was being scanned. So that's just a little tip for us for when we travel, especially when we travel internationally, to kind of understand how to say, I have a colostomy bag, or I have an ileostomy bag, or like to explain it in a few words in another language so that they can understand it. Or like we have, the UOAA has the travel cards for us. Now that's all in English. So most people can speak English, and she probably could have spoken English if I had the card on me to show her. But again, just something that I'm going to be a little more aware of going forward. Another thing this summer. So, anyways, Italy was great as always. Love the country, love the wine, love the food. Period. Another thing this summer was the UOAA's annual, well, every 2 year conference, and that was great. I got to meet so many of you in person. I spoke on stage during sexuality and intimacy. We had that, had a good session there, and then I worked the Hollister booth with Kimberly Coleman and Nate Hedlock. I know you guys know them as well. So we were working the Hollister booth during the Hollister booth hours, during the exhibit hours. Love working with Hollister. They truly are. They are. One thing I've learned is they are a great company who really truly care about our needs as ostomates and what we're looking for going forward. Because as you know, I'm part of the focus group. I've been part of their focus group for the last, gosh, 5 years. I'm actually I put it together with someone inside of Hollister. And so now we have this focus group, and we get together once or twice a year. And it's great to see some of the things that we have recommended to them as a company, see them put it into play. So Hollister has, just so you guys know, Hollister has upgraded, not new, but upgraded pouches coming out. They're going to be rolling them out over the next 18 months. You don't have to worry about what your pouch number is. Whatever your pouch number is now, it's going to be the same. Nothing's going to change, but it's going to be more water resistant. So at the conference, we had a waterfall, and we would hold the pouch under the new pouch, the upgraded pouch under the waterfall, and the water just rolled off, and you could pat it dry, guys. So we're going to have more water resistant. It's going to be better water resistant pouches that are coming out. And again, like I said, they're going to be rolling them out over the next 18 months, depending upon what pouch you have. I know the one that I use the closed pouch mini, and that's probably going to be one of the last ones that will be coming out, because most people use the longer closed pouches or the drainables. Now, the drainables are changing just a little bit, and they're so much better. Oh, and by the way, the filters are going to be covered, right? So the filters are going to be underneath. So now we're going to have a little extra protection from the filters. They're going to be water resistant. And the drainables, the shape is changing just a little bit. So it's going to be more enclosed. And the drainable part opens up wider and it's easier to open. They kind of did this little extra, um, I want to say like a V, but it's really not a V. It's kind of like it's like a V, but so for an opening. So when you squeeze it open, it opens up wider. It's easier to open at the bottom and it's wider. And the clasp at the bottom is a little bit thicker and you can really feel it pressing in when you fold it up and close it, which is fantastic for anybody that has a drainable. So those things are coming out within Hollister, like I said, over the next 18 months. And that's just a little plug for me to them because that was part of what I did over the summer. Let's see, what else did I do over the summer? I did lots of traveling, a few speaking engagements, worked my health and wellness business. And then one thing too, another thing that I have done is I started doing pelvic floor therapy. I never thought that I was going to need it, but since I had the blockages, I taught and I mean, I'm over 50 and I've had a full hysterectomy and I've had a couple of kids, right? And I work out. So I'm like, every time I went to do a workout and I'm jumping, and I'd have to stop in the middle of working out and go to the bathroom and come back, right? No matter what I did, it was always happening. So I went to my doctor and she said, well, let's get you some pelvic floor therapy, right? Like, let's work on the pelvic floor. So little did I know that the place she recommended to me. So I went and called the place, and my best friend is my pelvic floor therapist now. So I'm like, is this going to be weird? She's like, we're not going to make it weird. It's going to be good. So we were working on my pelvis floor, but the other thing that she wanted to work on too, which I said I'm really nervous about, is my blockages and my adhesions. So she's taught me a few things when it came to the blockages and the adhesions, which I swear everybody who has an ostomy, men or women, we need pelvic floor therapy, period. Because what she explained to me, and I'll get into the blockage part in a minute, but from a pelvic floor perspective, she showed me like this is your pelvis, this is the bottom of your pelvis floor. And you usually have all of these muscles, like your rectal muscles, your anus muscles, like all these muscles are usually there to control the contractions, right? But they don't just control the contractions from us emptying our bowels. It also helps with our vulva. Like for the women, it helps with orgasms. It helps with our vulva. It helps with urination. Men, same thing, right? It helps with orgasms. It helps with urination. And so she said, all of a sudden now, she's like, Leanne, you no longer have all these muscles. Like all of this is gone, right? Because they ended up taking all my pelvic floor muscles. They had to take most of my muscles out. She's like, so you're sitting here and you have like these tiny, tiny muscles that are literally trying to hold your urine. Like that's what they're trying to do. Now, from an intimacy thing, nothing got messed up there, thank goodness. But from that from having to go to the bathroom and constantly having leaks and trying to figure that out, she's like, you have these tiny muscles that are trying to control like usually you have tons of muscles that are trying to can control, I can't talk right now, can control what's going on in your pelvis floor. Now you have this little amount. So she taught me some things. So first off, she taught me some massive belly breathing exercises. She told me stop with the Kegels because when she went up there and she tested, she's like, one side of your wall is a solid mass of muscle, like solid mass of muscle. So it's too tight. So we've got to loosen that muscle up. So she taught me some belly breathing, like really breathing in through your stomach, like belly, blow up the belly and then releasing it and letting my pelvis floor drop. You can Google some of these. I'll find the names of what they are. And if you want to email me, Leah, if you want to go to the website even and just sign up, for my emails or send me a message through the website, you can go to leannehayden.com or you can email me at leannehayden.com and I will look for what those are if you're interested in the names of the belly breathing. So you can Google it and you can say, okay, here's what she said. I will be happy because right now I can't remember the names of them. But so from the pelvic floor perspective, so she taught me all this belly breathing and these exercises. And she also had me sit on a lacrosse ball, on a very hard lacrosse ball. She had me put it between my cheeks and my thigh, like right in that crease, like ladies, gentlemen, right in that crease. And she had me sit there on it and it helped to break down the muscle. So every once in a while, I need to sit on the ball in that area. It kind of hurt. It hurt more in the beginning. Now it doesn't hurt so much because my muscles have released, right? So my muscles are now releasing to be able for me to be able to control things. So from going to pelvic floor therapy, ladies, I can jump and not go to the bathroom. I'm not running in and going to the bathroom every 5 seconds, and I'm still drinking my 80 ounces of water a day, or as I take a sip of my water. So my 80 ounces of water a day. So now I don't have to be in the bathroom, going to the bathroom like every every 30 minutes to an hour, right? And peeing for like 20 or 30 seconds. Like it's not that. I have more bladder control, which is amazing. So you really, for you, I think everybody should be going to a pelvic floor therapist for the sole reason that we no longer have a lot of control down there, right? Um, One other thing too, when it came to my blockages, she had me. Now, when I would lay down and I would do these deep belly breathing, like really explode, expand my belly out, and then just bring it back. Like she told me, stop doing Kegels, stop doing core exercises. She told me to stop lifting weights for a while or and do more yoga. She's like, Leanne, we got to stretch you out here because you are way too tight. Because you guys know me, I've lifted weights forever and a day, and I was doing bar and I was lifting weights and I was doing all this stuff. And she's like, you got to balance it out. So now I'm trying to balance it out between cardio, lifting, and yoga, and doing two of each every day, every week, right? So anyways, long story short, so I would take these belly breaths. And when I was taking these deep belly breaths, guys, I almost could feel there was tightness in my intestines. Like I would breathe in, like, and when you breathe in, you push your belly out. When I would do that, it was tight. Like I could almost feel the adhesions in there. And then you release it. And then you breathe again and you expand and you release it. So we started working on that. She also was doing massage on my stomach and she was doing some cupping along my intestines to help to break it down. And then she also has this machine that we use. And I've been doing this. I'm actually going to see her this afternoon or today, this morning. I'm going to see her in a little bit. Because I haven't seen her in 3 weeks and she just wants to see where I'm at. And now we're going to manage it. So from here, because I've been doing it every single week for the last 3 months, for 3 months. And then I went on vacation. So what she's also doing is she has a machine that has like, it's like a gun and it has like electromagnetic something, right? It's like it pulses, and she holds it in the two spots that we know because she can feel them, guys, when she's massaging me. She goes, oh, yeah, you have one here and you have one down here, like the new one that I got. Um, last winter, all of a sudden I started having blockages in a new spot. So she could feel them. So she's just like, you know what? I feel where they are. So she would take this gun and she just kind of massage it in there and let it pulse in there. And its job is to break up adhesions. Now, again, all of this we have to be very, very, very careful with doing. I went to my doctor first. So I'm going to tell you this, whenever you try anything new, whenever you're going to do anything new, go to your doctor first and get permission from your doctor to do these things. This is just what's been working for me and what I found has worked for me. The belly breathing has been fantastic. It really just releases it. All the other stuff, I mean, my doctor sent me to a physical therapist who is specialized in pelvic floor therapy. So you want to make sure of that. Pelvic floor therapy and adhesions. Okay, so I have a specialist specializing in this area because we don't want to mess with things that we don't understand. So you need to make sure that it's a person who knows what they're doing. Go to your doctor first. So she's been using this gun on me, like this, I call it a gun. It's electromagnetic pulses in there. And knocking on wood, guys, I have been fantastic. Even with me being away and traveling, I wasn't drinking enough water. I knew that. And that's why everything started to get a little slow in my digestive tract. I knew it. Water is especially for us in a colostomy, water is our, we need this, right? We need our water. I got my water in my Stanley. Ileostomies, yes, we need water too, but you guys have to be careful, right? With hydration. And we need our hydration packs and we need all that stuff. But anyways, pelvic floor therapy has been helping, and it truly is needed for everyone who has an ostomy, male, female, ileostomy, colostomy. It does not matter. Nobody talks about it. Doctors don't tell us to go to a pelvic floor therapist. And my girlfriend, who is my friend who's my pelvic floor therapist, she said to me, she goes, I'm surprised. You are the first person in an ostomy that I've ever worked on. And knowing what she knows about the pelvic floor, she's surprised that she hasn't seen more people. And I think it's because we're not told to do that research. And you know us, we have to advocate for ourselves all the time, right? We have to be our own advocates. So I'm going to tell you, go to your doctor, ask them if they think you need pelvic floor therapy. Go through if you're having any issues holding any of your urine, if you're having any sexual discomfort, right? Like sexuality, if it hurts or if it's discomfort, could be something that a pelvic floor therapist could be something that a pelvic floor therapist can help you with. Be open with your doctors. Tell them what's going on with you and see what they recommend. But I do think it's something that we need to start really, truly advocating more for ourselves because we understand our bodies better than most sometimes, right? Better than most, period. That's the way I think. We can listen to our bodies and know what we can eat, what we can't eat, what works for us, what doesn't work for us. We're all so individual and so different on our journeys. Even though we're in this journey together, there's so many different things. Anyways, that's a lot today. So we talked pelvic floor therapy, we talked adhesions, we talked travel, we talked Hollister. We talked all these things today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, fantastic, hope you had a fantastic summer. I'm so glad to be back at this. And we're going to have more interviews coming up, more things, getting back into what we're used to, right? So get back into that consistent podcast episodes all the time. I'm going to try and get them to try and get back to them weekly. If not, it's at least going to be bi-weekly for all of you because I love you. I miss you. I care about you. If you ever want to chat about anything, you just let me know. If you ever want to share your story, your journey, some things that maybe you found have been helpful, whether it's things that you're doing that help you from a food perspective, exercise perspective, intimacy perspective, whatever that is, and you think that you have some knowledge that may help other ostomates, reach out to me again. You guys can always find me on Instagram at Leanne Hayden. You can find me on my website, leannehayden.com, or you can always email me. Please email me, Leanne Hayden at leannehayden.com. Now, if you loved this episode, do me a favor and share it. Share it. The more this gets out, the more our community gets the advocacy that it needs. So feel free to share it. And if I could ask you one huge favor, please, 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 if you love me, leave me a rating and a review wherever you listen to this podcast. Okay. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day. These testimonials are representative of my or our experiences, but the exact results and experience will be unique and individual to each person. The information provided herein is not medical advice and is not intended to substitute for the advice of your personal physician or other healthcare providers.